Gabby Moore here at the Adrienne Arsht Latin America Center, and today we're having a Café con Peter Rashish. He's an Atlantic Council consultant, senior trade advisor at Transnational Strategy Group, and has just authored this report for us on bridging the Pacific. Peter, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
This report specifically speaks to kind of global trade in the Americas. What answers does Latin America hold for the future of United States trade?
Well, first it's important to remember that Latin America is the fastest growing trade partner of the United States. But more particularly, I think what Latin America shows is the value that greater economic integration has for prosperity. If you take as a starting point just NAFTA, which involves Canada, but importantly Mexico with the United States, we see how much growth we've had in all three economies through the integration of, for example, manufacturing sites and supply chains, this constant back and forth across the borders of goods that go into final products. Mm-hmm. And I think with TPP, we will now be able to extend some of the same kind of dynamic to Chile and to Peru, and perhaps other countries in Latin America if they one day join TPP, and deepen this integration between number of countries in the hemisphere to all of our benefit.
Okay, and specifically, what you speak to kind of the integration here. What are kind of the broader goals that bring Latin America and the U.S. together when pursuing this specific agreement?
Well, I think that's an important question, of course, because not only the fact that the United States and a number of Latin American countries share some of the same values and interests is important, but also the broader context that's out there, because of course they're not negotiating these kinds of things in a vacuum. And I think the fact is that we're in a highly globalized world. Trade and investment is increasing at a very fast pace, but not all countries share the same approach to the international economy that the United States and most of its Latin American partners do. And so I think it's very important that the United States and its like-minded partners in Latin America support a kind of liberal internationalist outlook, economies based on free trade and open markets, that they strengthen their relationships through negotiations like the TPP, which can then, I think, create a kind of critical mass along with the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership between the U.S. and EU to promote a global economy based on the right kind of rules.
Okay, great. Well, Peter, thank you so much, and thank you all for joining us on Maria today.